Pastor, I wanted to see if I could come to church tomorrow.
Yeah, you can come.
Praise the Lord.
It's hard to tell from the outside when a church has gone too far. I grew up in California, home of some of the most notorious cults in history. Children of God, Jonestown, the Manson family, Heaven's Gate. I remember seeing these groups growing up and thinking, that could never happen to me. I'd grown up Christian and loved going to church with my family. To me, Christianity made me think outside of myself and pushed me to give back to the world and try to make it a better place. I felt safe in church. In every church I attended, we followed the Bible and the rules it set out to live by as they were interpreted by the pastor. I didn't realize what that could mean until it was too late. It's funny, now I drive by any sweet, nice-looking church and think, what's going on in there? What is the pastor telling his flock to do to make heaven? Is he telling them who to marry, or to leave their husbands and wives? Is the pastor telling them to fear and shun outsiders, even their own family? To come to church more? To give over more and more money? To give over more and more of themselves till there's nothing left to give? My name is ℌ𝔞𝔫𝔕. I'm 36 years old, and I was in a cult. Most of us have gotten out now, and we need help.
Tanya, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. You went and talked to the sheriff or a policeman or what?
Yeah, like when I was telling Brandy, when Pastor put her hand on the stove burner, you know what hell feels like? That officer, I mean, he would just sit there and shake his head just in unbelief. There's so many different walls that he has broken.
Do you think the pastor's got wind of this and he's going to leave?
No. If you are not in unity with his mind, because he is directly in connection with God, we're going to hell.
I want some help, because I feel like if you don't help me, then I'll end up killing myself, because I don't want to live like this anymore.
That's what she says. Count the cost to follow me.
What's the cost of not being a Christian?
You're going to end up in hell. He says you must willing to leave father, mother, sister, brother. You must be even willing to give up your own life for my sake. God demands it all.
Who's this?
This is Travis in this car.
This is Travis and Tanya.
Are you okay? Are you okay? I don't know. Are you okay? I think so. Who are you?
I'm Liz.
Okay.
It's good to finally see your face.
It's good to see you too. Come in, come in. This is your house for a while.
This is my favorite color.
Your favorite color is pink?
This is my favorite.
Tanya, let's go down in the staff room for a minute, okay? Come on down. What does being here mean to you?
I can't get my head right. I read scripture again today.
And if we tell you
And
something...
if you tell me something that's the Bible's supposed to mean, and it really doesn't mean it, I'm going to end up in hell. How do I know that y'all are not...
That we're not bad guys? What would you use to judge something that's good or bad?
I don't know.
You don't know, okay.
I don't have a clue. You have to have him to point up the sin because you're a dumb baby or a dumb sheep, and you can't see him. So he has to be the one because he hears from God. You're immature. He has to point him out. You act like you've seen this before.
Oh, honey, yes. This is what we hear all the time.
All my children were very much beat, bloody and bruised all over. And it was like, you know, you had to get the laziness out or you had to get the rebellion out. Pastor walked out from his office and he grabbed Brandy and he started yanking her head so hard. I thought her neck was gonna break. She was screaming. And then he drug her on the ground and she's kicking. And he pulled her into the closet. And then Deborah says she's a rebel. She's still not repented.
Deborah's his pastor's wife.
Yeah. I don't know how to be a mom anymore. I don't have a clue. What if he's right? What if we're doing wrong? We're totally in rebellion and we're really gonna be in that deeper level of hell.
I'm about ready to start getting them round up.
Well, when you have them dressed and have had something to eat, call me down at the lodge.
All right. Hey, Martin. Good morning. How you doing today? Hey, guys. Who is this? Is this Dustin over here? Oh, this is Tristan. We got cereal, Pop-Tarts. What do y'all want this morning?
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
After a person leaves a destructive cult, there is really only one place in the United States, and that is Wellspring Retreat, where a person can go to recover. After 2 weeks at Wellspring, a person is much stronger and more able to make that transition to a normal life.
There is one country in the world that is known to be the biggest reservoir of cults, and that's the U.S.
There's anywhere from 10 to 15 million cult members in the United States. It's at such an epidemic level right now, not only in the United States, but around the world. Most cults start out as something very normal. They start out as a church or a fellowship that it might be a benign thing at first. Every day you're interacting with people who are in something that's dangerous, abusive, or heading that direction, and they're giving up a little more and a little more of their control of their own life.
The average cult member of the 60s or 70s may have had shaved heads or robes. The average cult member of 2005, they don't look like cult members.
They can be the lawyer down the street, the teacher down the street, the investment banker. The United States has a real tradition of religious freedom that was forged by these early religious groups that came here seeking freedom. And what that means is if you become a nonprofit religious organization, there is much less accountability for not only your finances, but also for the way in which people are treated in the group.
And so the authorities or policymakers just don't want to go there. And so we deal with the lepers. We deal with a class of people that are considered lepers.
I don't think there's a real understanding of what we're talking about. If you go back 30 years, there were a couple of large cults, the Moonies, our ℌ𝔞𝔫𝔦𝣣 group, and the Scientologists. Now what we seem to have is not those huge groups, but these smaller groups.
The people here, what they've been involved in, is called Mountain Rock Church. The cult leader, his name is ℌ𝔞𝔫𝔦𝣣. You will hear them refer to him as the pastor, because they have been in a church, but the church has gotten more and more and more abusive. As I understand it, one of the members left. His name is Joaquin. He got out and started doing research and basically came back and said, you guys are in a cult and I want you out.
I realized they really did just want brain clones. I'm thinking, this is it. I got to get out now.
Did they tell Christy not to have anything to do with you?
He would tell her, darkness and light cannot mix. This is my wife, Christy. Our pastor, Raymond Mells, excommunicated me from the church and convinced them all I was the Antichrist when I questioned his teachings. He made my wife divorce me shortly after our son Josiah was born.
Raymond said, light and dark can't mix. Yeah. I was 4 months pregnant when Joaquin was kicked out of the church. We were taught that if a parent is in any kind of sin, then the devil has a right to destroy the children. So I end up throwing up the whole time that I'm having my child.
Raymond tells Christy she has these demons of laziness in her.
My kid's gonna die because I don't overcome laziness. And so then I'm working really hard, cleaning Raymond's cars. I remember in June and July having Josiah sitting in his car seat while I was outside in the heat. I couldn't stop. You had to get it done in a certain amount of time and do it just right. I just hate all that crap. I always felt like I couldn't do anything right. I couldn't be good enough in the church, and I couldn't be a wife, and I couldn't be a mother. And that Raymond tells me that this 6-month-old is full of demons and unlovable. The one thing I needed was to know that he would love Josiah. because he represents God in my life. Acceptance from him is the total goal.
And he did prove what happens if you don't do what I say. Well, you lose your wife, lose all your friends, your family, your job, your place to live. Everybody lived in homes rented by Raymond. Everybody's entire culture and family was there. I was prepared for a big battle. I had begun to dig up some stuff on cults.
If Joaquin hadn't been there to make them realize what they were in, I don't think they ever would have got out. He's only behind God in the work that was put behind getting people out of that cult.
Right before we left, Joaquin had some information that he had gotten about brainwashing and cults, and we're just like, oh my goodness, this is a character description of Raymond Mills and his whole ministry.
Raymond just happened to use the Christian faith, and he took those kernels of truth, and then he developed this elaborate doctrine that was just completely outside of what any mainstream Christian church would accept.
Raymond had all these names for demons like pride, rejection, rebellion, insecurity, stubbornness, little boy spirits, little fat boy spirits. I just didn't see that in the Bible.
This is Deidre Lee, my wife Christy's sister. She was just your average American girl before marrying John and getting sucked into Mountain Rock Church.
You know, I was getting to where I liked myself when I was 21, 22, and I felt good about life. I liked going to school, and I had friends, and everything was good, you know. I didn't have any problems, really.
John's marriage to me is what started off the whole hellhole. All I knew of Raymond and Deborah at that point was just that they were like, quote, parents to him. He lived with them, he followed them to New York. I thought there can't be any harm in it. You know, it's a church.
Okay, we're in the new church. Everybody say hello.
Do you have any specific questions you would like to ask? What you'd like to see happen with the program while you're here?
I want to get rid of my guilt.
We were his henchmen. We did his dirty work for him. We finally said, okay, we're going to have to face this. Every single day, our eyes would be open to more. And then the next day would be something else. And after a few days, we realized we'd been in a cult. And it just totally floored us.
Think of your life as a big piece of pie. Was there a slice of pie that's all yours? And Raymond can't touch it.
Absolutely everything that I was as Christy has got to die.
That is the definition of totalism. He takes ownership of all of you.
Oh, yeah.
Lifton came up with 8 criteria through his book Thought Reform and the Psychology of Totalism to determine whether or not a group is a cult.
I originally did some work with returning prisoners of war in Korea and got a sense of an export version of a process that the Chinese came to call thought reform.
Robert J. Lifton's study helped us to see that what happened to us was not unique to our church.
Now, is every new religious movement a cult? No. But what we use here as the line of demarcation are the 8 techniques as outlined by Dr. Robert J. Lifton. We're going to unravel these 8 techniques and show them what they are so that this never happens to them again. And we can take that model and overlay it on any situation that has abuse of power. We've treated Buddhists, Hindus, we've treated Orthodox Jews. We don't care about the creed. It's the deed, what happened to them.
Raymond used to even say God is going to do everything short of killing you. The day I had a 30-hour child labor, he and Deborah come over and start speaking in tongues and praying over me and brought chaos into the house.
He came in and I watched him speaking with Deidre's husband about how she was a sinner and it was her sin that was holding this baby back. And to watch Deidre suffer, thinking that she was going to be sinning if she would eat, I was on my knees on the floor praying. I'm a Christian as well. This was not Christ-like.
Yes, here he is.
My husband went to work the next day.
You're kidding me.
I was hemorrhaging. I called John. He's on the job site with Raymond. And Raymond says, "Why's your wife calling you?" And John says, "She's bleeding and she needs my help." Raymond said, "No, you need to stay on the job." It was just like all alone, that was it. And later, John walked in the door. He said, "Get up, you need to make my dinner. I'm gonna go get a shower. You have it on the table by the time I get out." And I got him some leftovers together, and I've tried to live the rest of my night as if nothing had happened.
Hi.
Well, this is really out of the way here. I was really surprised. Amazing.
John was a Rottweiler, and whoever came against his master, you're supposed to go after them. And I just happened to be one who would go after the master, and I was married to the dog. Lately, I feel very angry at him. I have cussed him out. I've railed on him because I had 6 years of pent-up anger, and everything was turned in on me.
I mean, I feel a little bit taken advantage of. And we spent so much money to come here, and it's not nice at all.
Will you cut the camera, Andy?
We're going the right way. Follow the tracks. You want to follow the tracks? Shut up, you big doofus. I see one. I see one all the way. You look carefully. See it? I see it. I think it has antlers. Yeah, I think laying over in the woods. Don't scare it off, doofus. See?
We human beings are the most dependent of creatures. We have the longest period of childhood dependency, which makes us susceptible to a guru who puts forth what are perceived as absolute truths.
One of the first things he taught us was that none of us were loved by our parents. Then he says, well, that's why God has the man of God, to make up for what your parents didn't do.
They didn't have any contact to us because we were the old family, and they couldn't have any worldly or bad influence because Raymond had the best influence. And that hurt.
You didn't have your daughters for 6 years. I mean, I didn't have my sisters for 6 years. They weren't the same people. They were brainwashed.
When you're redoing someone's identity, it's almost a necessity that you alter their memories. Back in the 70s, I became the quintessential top model member for the Moonies. For example, in my cult, I believed that my childhood was really miserable and terrible, and all the good things were wiped out and all the bad things were exacerbated. Milton and Estelle Hassan became my physical parents, and Sun Myung Moon and ℌ𝔞𝔫𝔦𝣣 became my true parents. Moon taught that the Holocaust needed to happen because the Jews didn't accept Jesus. And being raised a conservative Jew, one would say, Steve, how could you ever believe that? And the answer is, I was hypnotized, indoctrinated, brainwashed, mind-controlled into a new identity.
Everything that made you who you were before you came to this church has to be completely obliterated.
He used scripture to say everything in us was evil.
The doctrine takes precedent over the person's thoughts, feelings, personality, and talents.
Before she came to Mountain Rock Church, my sister Carissa was an award-winning teacher whose students scored highest in the nation on the standardized reading achievement tests.
Raymond Mills said I had a lot of pride in my teaching and that I should step down from teaching and just get a regular job where I was under somebody under authority to overcome rebellion in my life. And so I obeyed what the pastor said, and I went and got a job as a hostess at a Charlie's. His teaching was applied to every area of life. The more abusive he got, the more areas of our lives he began to control.
Music was supposed to pave the way for Raymond's teaching. And sometimes if it was too down, he would make us start dancing and singing to get the spirit right in there.
The mystical experience, or high states, were systematically cultivated by a kind of deoxygenation, by breathing exercises. Of course, mystics have always known this.
Lifton calls this mystical manipulation.
I would dance like, sometimes like this, you know, just, let's see, I guess I should get one leg going, usually clapping. Like sometimes I just get twirling in a real worship song. I mean, it was really tremendous. I could barely breathe and sing on the next verse. You'd have to stop and just be clapping and then get going again. It was some awesome times.
He called himself an apostle, and he said that covered all five: apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, and teacher, and he could do them all. So, see, he was end all. He was like God, you know.
But we've had people here from over 300 groups. Every last one of them has said what Raymond has said. We and only we have the truth.
Karen is my wife Christy's mom. She was very troubled when I met her. When her problems with the kids and finances seemed improved by Raymond, we were all convinced to join the church. Besides answering our spiritual questions, He promised us all our financial needs by getting all the men in the church started on a career in building homes. He paired Christianity with building, so the harder we worked on the job site, the better our chances of making heaven.
If there's anybody in the world that's going to make heaven, I said, I believe this man will make heaven. He gave an opportunity to get ahead in life, by building. Build houses, save your money, buy a lot, and you can build your first spec. Sell 3 specs, and you get your house paid for cash. That's what really got me hooked.
Our modern-day cult compound was actually a suburban housing development called the Heritage. We built these houses, and then Raymond said the Lord told him we should give them to him for free. Then he had us rent them from him.
So when you first came to the church, you needed to move, you needed to disassociate with all your friends and relatives that you'd been close to. You changed your job. I mean, you had to be completely uprooted.
You have no reality checks.
That's right.
Because you're not getting any information from the outside world. This is called maybe you control.
One of the misconceptions about cults is that people are always living in a compound, and that if they're not in a compound like the Waco Davidians or Jonestown, that it can't be a cult. What you more often have is hyperactivity and some level of control over associations.
For 7 years, I worked for 60 hours a week or more. In the evenings, we had meetings at least on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. For a time, we had it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. I never had time to step back to think about what the teachings were in the church.
So this is where John Dwyer lived. So John lived there, Raymond lived there, Mark lived there. This is where I lived. And he had Travis live in this one. Tanya and Travis had been so tied into the cult financially that only by hiring Travis to work for me and paying for them to come to Wellspring did I feel they had any hope of freedom from Raymond's control.
When we first moved down there, he threw out all our furniture, our CDs, everything pretty much we owned besides our clothes he threw out. My wife, she was fighting it, but finally she, I guess, broke, is what they say, and surrendered her, who she was.
He turned us over to the devil and prayed that things would happen to us, and it was like real. Like with my family, my husband about got killed in a car wreck. I had a thyroid problem and it was healed in the church. But then I did the blood work and said all of a sudden I've got a thyroid problem again.
Well, there's other ways of looking at the bad things that have happened to the people that have left.
There's too much to happen all of a sudden.
Well, is it a possibility?
I mean, I could say yeah, but I don't think so.
But can you conceive in your mind that it might be a possibility?
No.
That he has that much power?
Okay, I'm feeling like a freak here now.
I'm just trying to get you to think maybe he doesn't have all the power that you think he does. And you say, well, you're pretty good.
Well, if he didn't, then I feel kind of pissed off toward God for letting all these things happen then. I don't like that.
Well, that's a possibility. All I'm trying to get you to do is for you to think for yourself.
I did think, but now I feel confused.
That's good. That means you're thinking. Let me go on to the next one. You ready for the next one? The world is viewed as black and white, and group members are constantly exhorted to strive for perfection. What practice
teaches you to be perfect? He was perfect, and he never sinned anymore.
Did you ever see him sin?
I'm not sure. Well, yeah, I am sure. Beating children.
Part of what endeared us to Raymond was how well our children behaved in the church. Their behavior sense is a constant reminder of the damage we brought upon them by participating in his program of discipline.
Want to see the baby birds? They're right over there. No, Tristan, please don't. No. Put them in my hand. Oh, Tristan, I'm going to beat you for this. Let that fucking worm go. I will see a bird. Brandy, I'm about to go tell on you. What am I doing? Tristan, no. You're being a lazy, stupid head, not helping. I'm trying. Tristan, I'm going to smack the piss out of you. They're not even eating the worm. Can you hold one of these and gently take it out of the woods? Yeah. I can't. Where was I put? Brandy, you need to stop being so darn stupid. Fix gonna beat you.
I remember the time when John was sitting there and beating Tristan, beating him. And then he looks at Pastor and he's like, you know, in other words, is that enough? And it was over saying, yes, Mr. Dwyer. He was 2. He couldn't hardly talk.
Hey, Tristan.
I was telling them that are my pants.
Okay, so you guys had a disagreement over some pants.
You've been saying I'm a big fat bitch.
Well, that's not a nice thing.
I don't say bitch.
Hey, guys.
That's a cuss word. He was choking me on my neck hard as he possibly can. Because you raised up your tongue. He raised up his tongue, and I always had to choke. Sometimes he likes it when I choke him.
No.
No, I don't. Let's go play.
Hey, let's go play.
The Davis children, when they were here, they were in bad shape. They weren't in this bad a shape.
The whip is gone,
Yeah.
and they don't have anything to go by.
I mean, I get whipped every day for a while, just for doing one single mistake. It didn't matter what it was. If they even responded wrong, I'd get whipped. I mean, I'm bleeding sometimes.
I spanked Sean severely a couple times under Mark and Karen's direction, to be honest with you. He was 11 when he started working with us, and I just went off on him.
After some of these beatings, he bled so much, and then the blood dried, and they had to pull those clothes off of this little boy.
I was taken when I was 10. I mean, I was wimpy, but that's being a kid. So, I mean, being a kid is totally stripped from me.
I feel like a mother who has allowed her children to be raped by their father. I hate myself.
No.
But I didn't do that.
You didn't know it was that bad.
But I still knew to get spanked, and I knew. I remembered that blood. Why didn't I do something?
His dad's standing right next to me. I'm doing this. He's supporting me. And this is part of the program. I felt like I was doing the right thing.
Dad is like a servant. He just obeys pastor. He listens to the devil when he ties God, and that's what happened.
For 10 or 12 years of my life, I've been shaped by Raymond Meltz. I'm going to be very much like him. Maybe I'm not the guy for her, because I can't become a totally different person.
One thing that cult leaders do is they rip away from you the apple to where there's nothing but the core. But the apple can be regenerated.
But if I look back on myself and I would say, you know, this is who I was when I was 24, I hate it. I was a mess. I just felt like I looked almost monstrous. And I called my brother up, and he told me I should come to church with him. I walked in there, and I saw Raymond Meltz, and he had on this beautiful green suit and a beautiful silk tie. He opened his arms to hug me and greet me, and he gave me a nice hug. And I said, man, this is like a new world to me.
John followed Raymond to Anderson, South Carolina, because Raymond offered John the first love he'd ever received and a new career in building. He devoted his life to being Raymond's associate pastor, the dedicated henchman who would keep us all in line.
My life became his. I was his, bought with the price of his blood. Whatever God required of me, that was the price to be paid.
In Raymond's group, beating these kids, in his mind, that was helping them.
Purifying them.
So they didn't grow up to be rebels.
Lifton calls this the demand for purity. It's all what is in the cult leader's head about what is purity.
Discipline your son before his habits are formed and sealed for life. You want to suffer now the beatings you give your children versus them in hell, and you get to see them in hell burning, and it's your fault.
Thou shalt beat him with a rod and shalt deliver his soul from hell.
There was one on the fire extinguisher, one in the office, one in the schoolroom, one in the kitchen.
You need to know where your stick is.
It's this long, and it has like this ball at the end almost, and it's made out of, I think, rubber.
Our modern-day rod was a thin PVC pipe you can get at Home Depot, which, if you're in construction, as we all were, are everywhere.
That's what it looks like. That's what keeps your hand from slipping around. Raymond's wife, Deborah, she spanked me every day if I did not get my reading lessons right.
How do you discipline your child? Through a variety of ways.
You beat them. If this was bruised up, go to this side. That's what I was told.
You give them with a rod, you give them a few whacks on that nice fat area of their butt.
You point out sin in the children, and in the school you point out sin, and you point out sin, you point out fucking sin.
Your mother beat you?
Yeah, with the rod.
Skylar would have to run around the church, and she started throwing up, and then I kept having to beat her to make her keep getting up and running. And then she's crawling on the ground, and then I've got the stick, and I keep beating her.
You know how they say they beat children and stuff? That's what they call love.
This was our schoolroom here. Some of the parents had trouble with their children in school. They were problem children. And so we helped them straighten them out. It's just a constant imprinting.
Left, to the left, left, right, left.
Stand up for Jesus, you soldiers of the cross.
Children become symbols for the future. It's as if you can create ideal children according to your cultic standards, then you're realizing immortality.
So continue to train him in the ways of the Lord. And we thank God that he is healthy. He is the Lord's boy, and he's going to serve the Lord all his days. To make sure that.
Amen. He'll be obedient and loving as normal.
It must be said that children are the most vulnerable to cults. They are defenseless. They are voiceless. They're at the mercy of whatever mad instruction someone got from supposedly heaven and lead the kids through a very big hell.
So in this church that you were going to, what are some things that you remember?
He put me in a dark closet, and he put my hand on the stove, and it was very hot, and he put that pan on my hand, and the pan got really hot, and he hit it, and he took the pan off, and he hit the pan on my head.
Yeah, you didn't do anything to deserve anything like that.
And he done it to my sister too. He always used to tell us that if we cried, we'd get hit more. So I tried to hold it in, but sometimes I wish my life was just over and I could just run away from everything, but I can't. I think of it and how other children would feel if they got beat, and it just made me cry. Stop, Josiah. Stop. You don't hit me. No, I'm not going to! Yell at me again, I'll smack you in the face. No, we don't.
I know that he went through a lot.
Yeah,
as
well, he went through not only the cult, but also through our divorce and everything else. But he seems to be okay. I think he's so young that it'll probably won't mess him up.
No. You can't go to the lake with me. No!
How many times do you think he's been beaten?
A lot.
Shut up, stupid baby.
You gotta go.
No! No! It seemed to me at the church it was really hard to go to heaven. It scared me bad. I was always scared. But it seems to me as it's pretty easy. All God wants you to do is love Him and try to serve Him. He'll be your shepherd.
Okay, let's go catch up to the rest of them.
I didn't get no flowers.
What's that in your hand?
Flowers.
Go ahead.
Yes, we do it.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
All right.
So, do I understand that several of these people are there for treatment?
That's correct.
Okay. I mean, I realize these things happen, I don't doubt that, but it's just hard for me to see how people get that way.
Well, I'll be happy to try to explain how these individuals can fall under such duress.
Okay. Is there anything that you would like to tell me that's not in here?
Well, I think one of the more interesting things is these kids were like made to be put in this basement area, and they were kept there in a long time, and kids made to run around till they threw up. So, I mean, there's more than just the spankings.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to go through everything, and of course we'll be deciding how we need to pursue this thing.
All right, thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Concentration camp for children, that's what it was.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I don't think police officers are trained properly to investigate cults. I don't think judges are trained properly. Cults have had so much power in this country. They've won so many freedom of religion cases that even some local counties can't successfully prosecute a cult.
For a little church like Mount Rock Church, it's a microcosm of a much larger problem. When I saw the planes going to the World Trade Center, I thought I could have done that. People who were indoctrinated to do that act are being trained right now for the purposes of people who have power, who want to control other people and make them slaves.
That's what really scared me the most, is the fact that they beat their children and gave him all their money. The only other sacrifice they could have made is killing themselves. I think if he had asked them to die, that they would have died.
The United States really is extremely sensitive to the issue of separation of church and state. So what you have is this burgeoning growth industry where if you become a nonprofit religious organization and you achieve tax-exempt status, you can take in whatever money you can from your followers unimpeded by any federal regulating or state regulating agency.
While I'm waiting for an emergency custody hearing to be able to get Josiah, I talked with somebody at DSS. They went by with a social worker and a sheriff's officer and questioned Raymond. And he said, well, I sense that they're covering something up, but I sense it's a very tight-knit group. Christy was telling me today, after DSS was involved, the parents said, our kids are covered from head to toe with bruises. What are we going to do if they come investigate?
On top of the head?
Yeah.
Can't see bruises there. They just hurt to touch. On the bottom of the feet, Pastor said he got beat on the bottom of the feet. Bruises won't show up there. In between your kneecap, we had to have the stick, and they had to kneel for hours. And they would just, you know, I mean, it hurt. I can't make it up to them.
Hey! Hey! Messed up is normalcy.
Why is it? Why is that normal? Why does God allow people to be all so screwed up?
Because you don't have a button in your head that he can push and say, do exactly everything that is perfect and wonderful. There's no button that
If you love him, he should be able to, you know, give you a good life or something.
No, I think it takes time. I think it's
shit,
a working
Chrissy.
out.
A working out. You
Yeah.
sound like Pastor.
His name's Raymond.
I'm not there. I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
all
just
right.
not there.
That's all right. Most people are born in religion. It has nothing to do with what people really think or feel or need in life. Everybody needs to know that they're part of something that's much bigger than just day in, day out bullshit of go to sleep, to get up in the morning, to be able to go to work, to make money, to have food to eat, to go to sleep, to get up in the morning, to make money, to have, you know, that's all it is that cycle. And so I would get depressed in the face of that. This is my lot in life, you know. Everybody's looking for some kind of, to fill that need in them. But we always replace it with something crappy like drugs or job or religion.
She just like spit stuff out. You were not saying you had problems.
Yeah.
You were actually like us.
Mm-hmm. I just go cry in my room.
We love each other.
And we love each other.
You ready?
ready. We'll see you later, Liz. Bye, y'all. See you later.
It's not your fault. 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 It's not your fault.
What seemed insurmountable was fixing the damage done to the mothers in the group. How could they ever trust their own maternal instincts again, once they'd been convinced to beat their own children?
It's Mother's Day. I don't know how these kids are going to handle this. They may just be crazy. Good morning. Why are we doing this?
It's Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. That's right. What do you do on Mother's Day?
Make pancakes.
You make pancakes.
Happy Mother's Day to all. We children appreciate you, even though at times you can't take it. We love you, sweet 100% mom.
Thank you, Mary.
How nice.
I can't remember that I ever did anything good for the church.
Paris, do you forgive your mom?
Of course I do. I just want my mom to feel better.
That pisses me off because I know that they need me sometime. And if I can't take care of them.
She's taking care of us just fine. We just want them to feel better. She has a flu in the spiritual, I guess you could say.
It's kind of like she has the flu in her spirit right now, doesn't she?
Yeah.
I have had trouble coming out of it. I have had trouble thinking it's okay to live life. If I do that, I'm on my way to hell.
According to your Christian viewpoint, what is a Christian system supposed to produce?
Love, joy, peace, long-suffering, patience, kindness,
Does
goodness.
this produce that?
No. And faith, I became faithless.
So it kills, it destroys, it doesn't give life, and it doesn't produce fruit. But if you let go of it, you might go to hell.
Right. Obviously, it's not God's system. It's the whole point. So I have no fear of going to hell.
It doesn't compute.
You just set me free. This was not God. This was not God's program because all it produces is death, depression, suicide. And does God want suicide? Then I pray Tanya's going to get this. Have hope. I know you're a little worse off than I have been. But I was right there with you because I wanted to kill myself too. But I just didn't go to hell for some reason.
It feels funny in here right now. I'm like telling you these things and I can like feel Pastor. I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble.
You just told me today that Kashi was a liar. He beat kids. He lost his temper. He didn't heal you.
I don't know why this is bothering me. It's like you're telling me lies right now. But I know that I'm the one that said it. How are you gonna get to heaven? Who are you gonna believe? What if they are screwing you over here? If it does not line up with what Pastor says, it is demons talking to you.
Do you still feel scared about things that Pastor has done?
Mm-mm.
Do you feel mad?
Yeah, I still feel mad about him. But when he done all that stuff to me, I punched him in the face.
What did he do when you punched him in the face?
Nothing. He just started laying on the ground and crying. Because that's what he get from being mean to me.
Who will keep you safe if you need somebody to help you?
I don't even know why I help because I'm strong.
How do you get that strong?
I don't know. I eat spinach all times.
Do you think he should go to jail?
Yes.
Yeah. So I know what we should do.
What?
Set a knife trap where when he wakes up out of his bed, I pick up all the knives and throw the knives in the trash can. And he really is going to be in the trash can.
We got remarried just a month ago.
That's awesome.
Shortly after the cult fell apart, the question came up, why did you leave in the first place?
Raymond.
Yeah.
There are times when, like, I get riled up enough and he's going to start church again and all this bullshit. I so badly want to have the guts to just walk in there. But I know if I got near him, I would shake like a leaf. I wish I could go and strip him down and beat the shit out of him.
You know, he was brought up in violence, and I think he was neglected a childhood, and I think he wanted to rip that and steal that away from our children.
I think that would be a very common thread, that most of us didn't get the security we needed as children. A lot of us were abused or beaten in some way.
My stepfather, you know, abused me as a child sexually, and I wanted to kill him. I tried to kill him, and I'm scared. I still feel that inside of me. If Raymond doesn't get convicted of this stuff, I want to see him dead. And I'm scared I could do something like that, and it bothers me. I want to see him pay and suffer for what he did. Desperately.
Yeah, she told us she put them all in our suitcase too.
He doesn't want to go. He wants to stay.
I definitely look forward to getting more help.
I was struggling because of it being the last day. We're going to need you.
We don't want you to get so dependent on us that we become just like another Raymond. We want you to think independently and do what you need to do, but we're here.
You don't have to have function up here. And now it's time to go be a human again. I thought I was going to have the quick fix, and it didn't happen.
Hey, Zachariah, let's go to the car. You want a piece of me? Huh?
Yeah, I want a piece of you.
Right across the Ohio River, we're going to get on 77, follow 77 down to Charlotte. In Charlotte, we're going to jump on 85. It's a straight shot.
No.
Zachariah, that's enough.
No, I keep over that day. I'm going home.
I'm going to miss all of you.
It's really been over backwards for us.
Y'all know how to get home? Bye, Josie. Bye. Well, the hard part's just starting for them. I'm just so sorry for them. It's not going to be easy for these little youngins to talk to the sheriff and tell all this awful, awful, awful stuff, but they're going to have to.
We're leaving Ohio.
As far as his abuse of the kids, we got to file a civil lawsuit. We're ready to do whatever it takes, especially the children. Right, Martin?
Tell the truth, I really want him to die.
We all ask ourselves, why me? Why was I put in this situation? Could be that our one purpose is just to put a stop to one evil man.
He did this in New York, and he did it down here, and he has destroyed people's lives. And we can't let him do it anymore.
If the southeast of America is the Bible Belt, then the upstate of South Carolina is the hole the buckle goes through. Religion dictates all here. The cult situation is not too uncommon, although I think Mel's takes the cake.
I just feel like I didn't get enough of what I need. I feel like I'm just gonna fall apart. That's what happened the other night. Yeah, I took all those trizodones, and I just wanted to die.
Everybody would flip out if you died, so don't. It kind of scares me because I don't want to lose my mom because she means so much to me.
Praise the Lord, you finally arrived.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we forgive you. The next time we whip you.
Whipping?
Deborah, get the stick. This is my office here. It's very quiet here. There's a little roof so I can sit out there and study and pray at times. Come, I'll show you my cars. That's the only hobby I have. Building is a little bit of a hobby too. This car over there, I'm sitting on it. That was the first one I bought. Sometimes I feel a little guilty, you know, to have a little luxury, you know. As a pastor, you shouldn't have luxuries. My first wife was German. I was married to her almost 20 years. And when I got born again after 2 years, she says, goodbye, I don't like this. And that's Deborah and I. We are married now 25 years.
And I'm traveling with this woman, her name was Johanna, past Raymond's home on the hill, and she said, this poor man up here, his wife left him. I feel so sorry for him, he's so lonely. 1 month later, she's got Raymond on the phone with me, and we had a blind date. He was so stiff, real German, and I had to kind of, you know, touch him a lot, work up a little warmth into him. So I said, well, let's go for a walk after we had finished eating. I had planned just to make my adios. And with that, Raymond, this cold German fish, he turns to me and says, won't you come back in and have coffee with me? Well, that was the end of that. I fell madly in love right away.
I was born in 1939. So when the war was over, I was 6 years old. And they put us in a former concentration camp that they had in Austria. And my mother had a small baby, and there was nothing to eat, so the baby died. Of course, when I was 14, I finished with school. So your apprenticeship starts for 3 years. That's how I learned to build. But of course, they were a little bit rough on me sometimes, and they beat me at times. But you're just a nobody. They don't even call you by your name. And you work for $1 a week. At 18.5 years old, I came to this country. I was a sinner. I didn't know anything. And I had to learn the Word of God, so I know how to obey. Are you ready to eat, folks?
I hope
I'm
so.
sure they are
These people
hungry.
must
Come
be
sit
starving.
down.
If you be reproached for the name of Christ, happy are you, for the Spirit of glory and of God rests upon you.
Peter talks a lot about suffering. That's the only way we can be shaped, when we have tribulation and suffering. Either we become bitter or we become better. Most Christians are so-called Christians. All they do is play church, live like everybody else during the week. My whole church was full of it. What got them so angry too partly is that I kept talking to them that they weren't saved. That got them so angry, including him, including her. My own wife wanted to kill me. I says, you got saved 30 years ago, but you backslid, you're back in sin.
You can call us fanatics, you can call us sick. What we want is to become like the Master.
So they're going to have to deal with this themselves and God. Maybe there's some suffering now. Maybe they need to say that Pastor Meltz was pretty good to me.
I'm a complete basket case for the past 3 weeks, dealing with a crazy man, trying to get him off the streets, and friends who are suffering and trying to start over and everything else. I still have nightmares about Raymond, and Deidre said Zachariah, her 5-year-old, will wake up in the middle of the night screaming, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, no, no, no. With children, how so much of the development of how they react to life is developed in the first year. Raymond spanked him when he was less than 3 months old. So I sit down and tell him what's going on with Raymond and what he did and how we're trying to get him in jail now. Who's Raymond?
I don't want to talk about it.
I want to wake up like some people I see, and I want to wake up happy and have hope. The last couple of weeks has been total hell. That's my Uncle Clyde and Ann. They live in Charleston right now.
I want to go see them. That's somebody that's still alive that you had when you were little. I really wish I'd
I have no interest in
grandma.
family anymore. I think the church killed it, actually.
I hate that my mom feels like that. I've never ever seen Grandma Davis. I have not seen even pictures of her, and I don't even know anything about her. We could have met and be really attached too, but we didn't even see them, so we don't even know who the heck they are really. Having a very hard time with all those thoughts of, was it really a cult? Was all the beatings really correct? I'm not seeing him wrong right now. I'm seeing me wrong, and I'm being a rebel and Jezebel. Maybe it really wasn't a cult.
Pastor, deep in his heart, says, I'm going to get you into heaven one way or another if I have to drag you, push you. Everything is hinged on it was Pastor's fault, because whatever he said, they did, so therefore they had no mental capacity to make a decision themselves.
Dick Hewitt is Raymond's new John, the faithful follower who will help him rebuild his church.
You've got to forgive. I can sit over here and be ate up in anger, or I can have peace of mind and say, Pastor, I forgive you.
So at times, I pushed a little harder than I should have, and I have repented to them about that, and Brother Dick knows that. Now, forgiveness is a foundation principle in the Bible. If I ask for forgiveness, then you have to forgive me if you are a Christian. You have no choice.
There aren't any limits to repentance in most Christian thought. The person who was crucified next to Jesus was a thief and a murderer, and Jesus granted him salvation, so it's always available. So there's a sense that one can never go too far.
You're trying to help people, and they bite your hand. It's a little bit like a drowning man in the water. You're trying to save him, and he smashes around with his hands. And sometimes you have to give him a punch in the mouth to knock him out so you can save him from drowning. The fella that worked for me, and I trained how to build, when he left, he'd been building here, he's got only about 5 lots left.
Joaquin was very instrumental to cause havoc.
He was excommunicated then, and that's when he blamed me that it's my fault that she left him.
And then Joaquin gave them a couple of books. Karen, Christmas, she opened up the book and starts to read. In an occult, people move from their homes close to the pastor. I said, well, yeah, we did that. And then the wife teaches them how to, clean their house. I said, yeah, I did that too. And you were a cult. It was terrible.
He wants to get the church and sell it and give everybody the money, but that's against the law. We are tax exempt. You cannot just hand out money and sell it.
No one would be free from the chains of Mount Rock Church until we brought Raymond to justice. Luckily, my building business was successful enough to be able to employ ex-members of the church and finance the lawsuit against Raymond.
And he's still here. Raymond's still here.
Yep. And still has the church and still has the church services.
That's why we're so pissed at the sheriff's office, because
nothing's being done.
Civil remedies are limited. Okay, hopefully we're going to do it through a criminal prosecution.
We want money too.
Okay, yeah. And I know you want money. Where are you going to get it?
Raymond's assets are, we're estimating $5 million.
Was any other money or income directed towards Raymond?
Well, besides renting at inflated prices, it was regularly preached that you have to give far above tithe.
I gave about 80% of what I made teaching, gave it back.
The church needs to buy the land behind my house. No, what I like to see really is to have 4 people who get in on this. Yeah. See, that's like only about $125,000 a piece.
He said, the money that comes in is mine to do what I want with. If I want to go buy a Mercedes with it, I can do that. That's my prerogative.
Well, I'm as close as perfect, I think, that you can get. I mean, I've been just lately wronged, maligned, evil spoken of, accused, like the Apostle Paul. That's not the best image for a pastor to drive around in a sports car, is it? But most people don't have no idea. Oh, pastor, this is the easiest job. No, that's the toughest job any man can have. And unless God calls you, gifts you, trains you, you cannot do this job. No man would want it. There's not enough money in the world to pay any man to do it.
He says, I never took money from the people because all of the money that came in went into the building that's there and the parsonage.
But Raymond controls the building. Raymond controls the parsonage. It's not that he didn't take anything, it's that he took everything.
Sean worked for $1 an hour on the houses for Raymond for years.
He took Martin one time in the front of the whole church and put him down on the floor, put his foot on his neck, because he wiggled in his chair.
I'm getting sensory overload. Let me sort of digest this. It's unlike anything I've ever done before.
It would have to be a very cold-hearted jury to be presented with everything that was just presented in there plus more. And to sit down and say, you know what, I don't think he owes you anything.
I mean, I've had nights where I just wanted to call and just talk to Raymond. Right now, tonight, I want to get answers. I have these thoughts, it's like, should I really be following him? But there again, I'm sitting here going, this is absurd. This is ridiculous.
Good evening.
Hello, Deborah.
Hello, Tanya?
Yes. You recognize my voice. How are you?
Good. Well, how are you doing?
Pretty lost and confused, actually. The only reason I left, I felt so hopeless. Very bad.
You were demonized to the hilt.
You and Pastor were supposed to be like a mom and dad to me.
Yeah. Well, you know, we had a small family group, didn't we, here?
Yeah.
My husband always lifted you up. You forgot all that went out the window. The devil has made havoc of this church work royally. But you didn't have the strength enough to say, that's you, devil.
No, I didn't.
I would have loved to have seen the kids, though. You know, because I just wanted to say goodbye to them.
When you remember what happened with Brandy, with Pastor and Hitman? Yeah.
Was she a sweetheart at home? He was trying because she was such a rebel and refusing to change for you and Travis. We repented, my husband and I, because he saw that he had been overbearing at times. And now Pastor Meltz is in the first stage of Alzheimer's disease.
Really? No. Actually, the reason I was calling is I wanted to call and see if your church is still going.
Yes, this couple came tonight, and they were precious and got Pastor's book, and so we've had a great Bible study together, and they're just finishing up.
I would like to come and, you know, visit with y'all and talk to him.
All right, then.
All right.
Good night.
Bye-bye. I feel like I was right back there. It's twisted to where you're going, oh yeah, that is true. I did have self-condemnation. Yeah, I was demonized that day.
You're on edge. You're on edge.
Yes, I'm on edge because all evening it's been like...
But Karen, it hasn't been. That's been your perception. Hey, let me get you on speaker, okay? All right, one sec.
Let's see. Raymond could not come to the telephone because he got a new couple that's in the church right now.
Oh, she did say that Raymond was in his very first stages of Alzheimer's disease. So that was why
He can't remember certain things.
It's amazing that they still think that he should lead a church again.
She said that the church was still going. They're holding meetings on Sunday morning, Sunday night, and doing it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
When Tanya called, I had put her away in my heart, and she had to call back. You know, the kids, no. If she calls again, I will be more ready for that call than I was out of the blue at 9:30 at night. Tanya?
They all come messed up. That's why they get born again, because the parents are in trouble, the kids are in trouble. We don't get good people. In the church, when they misbehaved, I just went like this and gave them a look. They knew I mean business. I dealt with a girl that started to have imaginary friends, she called them. And they talked to her, and she didn't think there's anything wrong with that. And these were evil spirits talking to her.
I'm making some soup. They're putting pepper in it. You know pepper is really dirt, and salad is really leaves. Stir it up. It's done. Here's your soup.
Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. God knows that. He wrote it in his book. And he said only the rod will drive it from them. Every child has the spirit and nature of the devil operating in him.
If you have a rebellious son and he doesn't listen to you as a parents, you take him to the priests, to the elders. If he doesn't listen to them, you know what God's word says? Stone him to death. Get rid of this rebel.
And because y'all were involved, perhaps unwittingly, but because you were, it puts me right in a very big gray area, okay?
Kirk Moorhead, the only local litigator that seemed open to taking on a cult case, didn't think we had a chance in court and turned us down.
I don't think South Carolina is ready to prosecute Raymond Mills. This is the good old boy network we've got down here. He's a man of God. They stick together.
I went to see John Stathakis, a local defense attorney that we heard had spoken with the prosecutor and sheriff about our case. After 4 months of having spoken with them, there are kids who had their hands put on a stove who were willing to talk, and nobody's talked to them yet, to anybody. And that kind of says right here, you want to abuse your kids? Move to Anderson, South Carolina, because you can have 20 people who saw it, and you can get away with it.
And from what I've seen today, I think the Anderson Sheriff's Department and Solicitor's Office is very interested in making a case, but a good case. The investigation is ongoing. It's not dying on the vine by any means, but they're proceeding very prudently. The more they've got to work with, the easier it is for them to make that decision whether they have enough.
There's no physical, there were no pictures taken, no bloody underwear saved, none of that.
If by some means, you were to speak to him and have a tape rolling, and he were to confess, wonderful.
After seeing Stathakis, Wellspring connected us with Phil Elberg, one of the only successful cult litigators in the country. What they said is we need something on record, audio, preferably audio and video, of Raymond saying, at least in some way, shape, or form, admitting to having done certain abuses.
You believe he'll let you film that?
The idea is to film it with hidden cameras and hidden microphones, which is legal in this state.
There's one thing I want you to understand is this. Parents were knowledgeable with respect to what was being done. And that is how this case inevitably becomes what I'm going to call a brainwashing case. There are virtually no successful lawsuits brought by people alleging that they were brainwashed and damaged as a result and are entitled to money. The possibility of suing him for his, what I'm going to call, economic exploitation is a viable claim that's clearly worth pursuing. If the money's in the church, then maybe you want to, try to recapture the church and sell the building. That's a civil action.
The mistake that people have made legally in trying to pursue these groups is trying to prove that something is a cult. There's no examples of cases being won successfully along those grounds.
A potential problem with respect to the criminal, more than the civil, is that his defense is going to be some kind of blaming of the parents. The parents are going to have to be prepared to be defending themselves.
When you make allegations of criminal wrongdoing, you're going to have to prove that. And those making the allegations have to be free from involvement of that as well. Some of the parents I've spoken with admitted to me that they actually struck their children. Others have indicated someone else did it, but that they were present. They allowed it to happen. Well, as a defense attorney, I could make an awful lot of hay with that. And to tell you the truth, I think I could get the charges dismissed at preliminary hearing, and it would go no farther.
My biggest worry is going through this case, having to go through depositions, and how they're going to make me look like a terrible mother and take my kids away. What's wrong with us that we didn't stop any of it? Because all the women were there.
That still doesn't affect whether or not he did it. If sometime soon the police don't get something on video and audio from Raymond, it's possible that they won't have a strong enough case. We meet in the church. It's a very good middle ground because we paid for that and built that place with our own blood. And if we can get together and say, remember the time that you put Brandy's hand on the stove? Why did you do that?
Or we can go to him more subtly and try to get him to speak convincingly rather than defensively.
Tanya should come.
Oh, Tanya.
She said she was going to talk nice to him, call him pastor at first. And tell me to beat my kids. And why did you tell me to do this? And why did you tell me to do that?
Ooh, she might catch something. We went to the Rogers to convince Tanya and Travis to go with us to church on Sunday. He's just going to come down on you and try to get you back in with everything he's got.
That really scares me because I've been so wishy-washy.
How should we have him? How about we sit down on the front pew and pull the chairs down from the top?
I want to be with this man a second.
I don't even mess your head up. You're there in that service for those 2 hours, 3 hours, 4.5 hours. You're there in front of that couple. He's trying to tell his whole spiel, and then your head starts going, shoo, shoo.
We decided Tanya should call Pastor to see if church was meeting the next day.
Hello?
Hello, Pastor.
Yes?
This is Tanya.
Hello, Tanya.
How are you doing?
Well, recuperating.
Have you been sick?
No,
Oh,
just a little rejected. You all told me that I was like a father to you all.
you were?
And, I mean, that's how I felt. And all of a sudden, all my children are leaving and saying, you know, all kinds of evil things. So that doesn't feel too good, does it?
No.
Okay.
Well, I heard from everybody that you spoke curses on us, and we had a lot of
That's a
stuff.
bunch of baloney. I never would do that.
Well,
Those are all lies. Lies that I have Alzheimer's and lose my mind and all these accusations. Lies from the devil.
oh.
How's it going with you?
I'm confused.
Well, you shouldn't be confused.
When I left the church, I was just devastated. I felt like I couldn't do it anymore, and I was giving up on God and everything else.
Well, you know, Tanya, that's how we all feel at different times. We all at times want to quit because the race gets to be too hard. You know, we're in a race.
Yeah.
If I remember right, I think I encouraged you pretty good and built you up. But see, when the devil comes in like a flood and those feelings of rejection and worthlessness manifest, it doesn't matter what somebody says.
I wanted to see if I could come to church tomorrow.
Yeah, you can come.
It's like closer that I'm getting more sick to my stomach. I had a lot of anxiety about going back home.
We came mainly because we need to get some things cleared up.
What are your questions?
You want to ask some, Tanya?
Whipping them to the point of how we were, bruising them and stuff, is that wrong?
Well, I think I confronted a few of you that you spanked your children too hard.
I know that Brandy, we had to go to your house, and that was one of the times you pulled her hair and you were hitting her and punching her and kicking her and stuff like that.
I don't remember. Well, I'm sorry, Brandy. Please forgive me.
Do you remember putting her hand on the stove to help her remember the fire of hell?
I never heard of that before.
Why is it that everybody remembers these things but you?
Do you have a problem with your memory that you can't remember these things that we all saw and remember?
What about our own son? You knew full well that there was a court order that nobody spanked him besides Christy and me. You had no right.
I don't think I ever spanked you, boy. I don't remember.
You see, here is another thing. I have heard 20 people who saw you
all these accusations.
So 20 people remember wrong.
I'm getting tired of all these accusations. Hearsay, hearsay, hearsay.
No, this is firsthand.
Okay.
Every single person in this room saw you walk out that door and spank Josiah in the playpen. I've heard it from so many people, and you deny it? So how do we know that you remember any of this stuff right? You don't remember the kids? You don't remember kicking the kid. You don't remember putting their hand over. I'm sorry.
You are a bunch of liars, most of you.
All of us.
You have been lying all along.
So you're the only one right.
No, I have apologized for what I have done wrong. But everything, all the problems you all have, is all my fault now.
I lost my cool inside the church. We couldn't get him to admit to a single thing.
He doesn't remember one damn thing. He will not say actual facts, that he did anything.
Getting just say to Brandy or the kids that, I did this, blah, 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 and I'm sorry,
I'm going to go in there.
Thank God the devil left, because he couldn't take that. They came in to accuse me, and I apologized to the kids, and they're still not satisfied. They're still bringing it up. There's no repentance. I don't know what they want from me.
What I was hearing from Christy is she was wanting the words like, I yanked Brandy's hair. I kicked her. Pastor Mask, do you remember that? You hit her with your fist. You were punching her and slapping her. She went down or something, dropped, and you were kicking her. And I mean, you were hot.
That was wrong. That was wrong.
Let me have them to come in here if you don't mind.
I wish I could smack him. I mean, he says, I'm sorry. He does not mean it. He just wants us to shut up. That's all he's trying to do is get us to shut up. He's like, well, we went a little over the line. I don't think so.
The girls moved it fast. Pastor wants to apologize to you.
Paris, you give him a hug and you accept his forgiveness. You too, Brandy.
Forgive me. Spanking you. Can you forgive me?
Yeah. I care for you and it hurts me when I ever see you hurt.
Anya, I know you want to come and talk, but there's no point for you to come here. They all are against me. That's only going to cause trouble for you and for me.
I feel like I've just betrayed that man, like to the utmost. Wished I could take it all back. Yeah. He was sobbing like a baby.
We've got a problem. We had a episode this morning in the church, and pastor and sister are devastated. They just feel right now that the world's caved in on them, and that he is a failure. And I know that he's not a failure, but the devil is having their way with him. But
you will come to realize more and more you have stepped into something that's maybe bigger than you are. Religion is worse than politics or anything else.
We submitted the footage to the police, hoping they'd find something in those tapes to make a case against Raymond before his church grew any bigger.
Still being investigated.
How are they investigating anything? They haven't talked to a single person in the church.
We went over there yesterday, and Mark's already called them 10 times and can't get anybody to return his calls.
They haven't even talked to anybody.
We have 25 people for them to talk to, and they've talked to 4 of us.
I asked them about the kids. Are you going to talk to the kids? And they said yes. And I said, when? And if they do something about this one, they have to do something about another one.
I wish he'd kill himself like Hitler did and just end it. You know that his time's over.
Well, Hitler may not have killed himself. He may have actually been killed.
Right.
But
that would work.
Driving by Mountain Rock Church right there on the main road every day, and knowing we were powerless to stop Raymond, made living in Anderson impossible for most of us.
We gotta be gone by 10:30. We're gonna show our house in the morning. To go ahead and sell it and then move to California.
Mark and I are talking about that too. If things don't work out in the next couple of weeks for him as far as building, if the house sells and lot, we're out of here.
How long has it been since you've had a horse? 5 years?
Walk.
I don't know how much of my feeling better is from Lexapro or from just feeling better, but I know I'm happier, calmer. I don't like to think about seeing him or talking about him.
I don't have the news now that I did just a couple of weeks ago.
The conference call, we're all fired up. Who was I? Because I don't feel like that. I just want to go away.
I still have love for those two people, and I do not know why. I don't know. Because, I mean, I know what they did to me. I know what they did to others. I know what they did to the kids. I don't know why I feel like that, but I do.
Hi, how you doing?
He said you wanted to tell him goodbye.
Yeah, say goodbye.
I'd had no part of anything of that the other day. Yeah.
It's crushed us. We were so down from when they came here again and told that my husband is in the first stage of Alzheimer's disease. Now, if I thought that a man was in the first stage of Alzheimer's disease, I would just leave him be and let him go into deterioration of his brain as punishment for his sin. I wouldn't come to his church again and sit in there in contempt and stop the man of God from speaking. I would have enough respect for a sick-minded man not to do that.
Does he really have that?
Of course he doesn't.
Oh, well, you told me that on the phone. Does he really have that?
When y'all came to us, how were you? Oh, Nellie?
No.
Oh, everybody wonderful. No. If everybody was wonderful, we wouldn't have to minister the way we do. We minister, hours of ministry. No, we didn't just take your money and run. You're supposed to die for one another. Cultish. You're supposed to die for one another. You're supposed to love when it hurts. That's family, Tanya. And we loved you. And we loved that you loved us. Cult. Ah, they loved you.
I hope y'all keep doing, well. And
we are going to go on the mission field in 2 months.
You are?
Yes, we are. We're going to go to Europe.
Wow.
And begin mission work. So that everyone we lay hands on will be healed, like the book of Acts. I don't want any of those feelings to come back of having you as a daughter, though I'm holding it back. Because it's cultish, don't you know? I enjoyed my time with you. Not you know that.
I would have never known I was in a cult. Never. I was told that by, you name it, you stand on the side of God and you demolish relationships and everything else.
We don't want to get involved in any kind of crap like that now. We just want to go on with life. This right here is kind of like signifying being over with Mount Rock. Since we're moving off, we're leaving our house tomorrow. This will be like a new beginning, Burn all this crap.
This right here is the pain ending.
And this is all his teaching. Here
I don't
goes
want to
Deborah. Raymond and Deborah. This is Raymond's book that he wrote that he said was of God.
Help me, Mom.
Yeah. That picture looks like he just sets himself up as a god right there. To me.
Sure.
I struggled the most with throwing that book away.
I imagine in my head right now, Mama, the devil screaming. The devil and Pastor. The fire has Mountain Rock in it. It's floated up into the air and just
disintegrating, yeah.
Even though we're burning this, I still pray for him because I know he may end up still going to heaven if we pray for him.
I pray for him too.
You got Joaquin, Mark, Karen. That's their son here. Sean, and the smaller one. That's Peter and John with their little baby. That's Carissa, that's his sister. And that's Travis and his family. They're gorgeous, huh? That's 2 girls. That's it. Will you quit now because some people accuse you wrongly or hit you in the face or steal from you? That is the whole idea that how the devil wants to stop you.
I would like to see justice done. I'd like to see him have to pay Mark and Sean for the work they did for practically free. We don't have a way to go on with our lives, really. Mark had no income last year, so we can't even get a mortgage. I have got to take an anxiety appeal. I'm sorry. You look like a movie star.
Oh, you're crazy.
You want to tell Grandma what we were talking about with...
Did you sell your house?
We're going to sell our house and
For those people
we're going to move our house.
Going to...
Yeah.
Travis worked day and night for me for months to make enough money to move Tanya and the kids to Montana, their childhood dream.
Now listen, there's two hooks in there, right? It's got a hook with 2 sides. It'll lift straight up on it. All right, now bring them forward.
Having our own home and being independent, that's part of the reason we came to Tennessee. We don't miss having a support system. We wanted to get away from everything. After having been at Mountain Rock Church for 11 years, having had Raymond in my life telling me what to do and supervising, it's kind of strange to not have somebody doing that every day now.
We are more and more and more going, I don't think we want to be in traditional religion. I just don't think God has anything to do with what the church proclaims him to be.
There is a big failure by institutionalized religion. You have 12,000 people leaving the Catholic Church every day, according to the Vatican, and they'll get into another religion, or they will leave one church and get into a cult.
How many cultic groups are there in America? 3,000 to 5,000? Any kind of religious system or any kind of authoritarian family system that just teaches you to obey without question, you're getting set up.
I don't think that we should fear religion. I consider myself to be a very conservative Christian. When I go to church, people here that I work with cults, they say if they'd have just had more faith in God, they never would have fallen into that if they'd have just known the truth. But in my experience, it's not a weak mind. It's not a lack of faith.
When people say there must be a certain type of person involved in the cult phenomenon, what they're really saying is, I don't want to accept that this could happen to me. The human mind is not as strong as many people would like to believe.
We learned so much at Wellspring about mind control. We just see little tidbits in different places.
The other day I flipped through the religious channels and I almost vomited. It just looked so ridiculous to me.
If you want to give your life away, I've got the person for you.
God has called you. You belong to Him. You're His property.
What books are on your shelf that are demonic in nature? What programs are coming through your television that are demonic in nature? How can you be free if the door is open? Give no place to the devil.
Wherever you are, there are demonic and spiritual influences around you constantly.
You need a Holy Ghost enema right up your rear end.
The blood of Jesus is perfect protection against all the evil the devil may invent. We are uncursable.
Disobedience will destroy you because you fail to believe God enough to do it God's way.
What is your problem? If you're going to live by the law, then live by it.
It's so much man-made, it's like you might as well go to a job and call that your God. Who made all these rules?
There's typically not a denominational superstructure that appoints pastors. Anyone can claim they're a pastor if they have a following.
My sister Carissa moved back in with our parents in California and started attending the local Baptist church with our dad.
What one can look for in terms of a warning sign for realizing one is involved in an extreme group is that one can no longer account for oneself as a human being, as a person, with thoughts, with ambitions. If only your pastor can tell you who you are, to the extent that you have no story left of your own, leave.
A godly, spirit-filled woman will put herself under the authority of her husband. If she doesn't have a husband, she'll put herself under the authority of her father. If she doesn't have a father, she puts herself under the authority of the pastor and the leadership of the church.
This sermon triggered her emotional memories of Mountain Rock Church, and she eventually stopped going to church altogether. Chrissy and I just had a baby girl. We named her Kira Phoenix, because our marriage died in the church and has come back to life again. And Kira is the fruit of that. We don't belong to a church anymore.
Tanya, how are you doing?
I am doing pretty good. I am in Montana. I'm looking at snow-capped mountains right now. It's absolutely gorgeous. We have a bunch of chickens out here, and we're getting some cows, and we're doing our little dream life, actually.
Wonderful. So you tried to
down.
get away, as far away from the cult as you could get.
Well, you know what's so screwy? We got here and we found out there's the biggest cult. It's Elizabeth's Prophet.
It's called the Church Universal and Triumphant.
Yes. It reminds us of the Heritage back in Anderson. It's a bunch of little houses grouped up together, and then it's got a big church.
They're an apocalyptic group with guns and artillery and everything.
And they've been calling me.
Oh, Tanya!
Dumbass, I gave them the number. And I even had a couple of visitors all of a sudden. They're giving me all these books and stuff, and it got me really confused. It broke my heart. I could not believe that we moved from South Carolina to get away from a cult, and we are beside one of the biggest cults ever. My kids are wanting to go to church, but everything was so similar to our church at this, place we went. The dude even danced the same as Raymond Mills. I'm scared to go to church now, but I'm scared of dying, and I'm scared of life, and I'm really tired of being scared all the time. I'm having nightmares of this man. Is there any church that's not a cult?
After reviewing the information provided by the Anderson County Sheriff's Office regarding the alleged misconduct of Raymond Mills of Mountain Rock Church in Anderson, the 10th Circuit Solicitor's Office has determined that the evidence does not support a prosecution of criminal charges of unlawful conduct towards a child.
After everyone doing their job, is there evidence to support criminal prosecution? No.
To go to Europe is going to be very hard, but I need to obey God.
You cannot break God's laws. If the laws of the land make you sin against God, that's when you need to draw the line. And you don't have a problem. You don't have to fear the policeman.
The early Christians, they died for their faith. I don't know how many you're going to find these days who are willing to die for their faith. You know?
Exactly. If I couldn't be in the ministry on the side of my husband, I would die. When a gifting comes on a couple to minister in the gospel, you are constrained to do it. No 10 horses can hold you back from doing it.
He's still my pastor. He's still my spiritual leader. I want to continue to try to build this church to help him carry on the word.
He can have all the money he wants on his own, but what he wants is followers. Even if it's not many, just a few that will sit at his feet like I did.
A guru needs his or her followers as much as they need him.
Do you miss him?
Well, sure, I miss all of them. They were my family. We are their spiritual parents.
They say things like you hit their children with a stick, with a PVC pipe.
Yeah, they got a few spankings.
Anything to say, if there's anything to do.